Hey everybody, it's Scott and Rita. This is our session number 36. So we're going to speak to you from the future spirit realm. We don't know what's going to happen. It's for us, also for you, for everyone. So
Yes, just to bring ideas. We have no idea where we're going with this, so we're just going to start. Do you want me to?
yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so looking back the past year, back to the summer of 2018, not that there's any time really in the spirit realm, um, but so much has happened. We've gotten so mm, powerful isn't the word. It's just effective by living both in the spirit world and the physical world and being both things because everyone is already both things. And there's the physics law that there are particles, simultaneous particles and waves, which it's not something I can explain with words, but I understand it internally somehow. And just having it's not even the ability, we all have the ability, just knowing that the opportunity is there to cross into a greater knowing in the spirit world and bring it back to day-to-day physical life has just created so much. And it's been so fun to watch you, to see what happens in my life. And it in every instance, there's never just this choice or this choice as far as the world sees it. There are multiple things that can happen. And it's like it opens up in front of us. Do you have that experience?
I do. It's really interesting, but coming from this realm of spirit, this interdimensional realm, it's almost like it's interesting how I feel that the spirit realm relies on the physical realm to give it shape and form, yet the physical realm feels so out of touch with the spirit realm. There's this paradox that's built into this connection, but there is a connection. So the spirit realm needs to come through in the physical form, through this system that we have. But yet also our physical form has the organs and the things built into it, in the brain, the mind, the consciousness that may be non-local, to give it that capacity to travel into the spirit realm. So it's, for me, as I travel the spirit realm, I've been learning that there's this organism that is a totality kind of organism of we are local and we're non-local. We are in time and we're not in time. So I'm learning more and more through the spirit realm that there is this whole organism, that we are not just spirits. We are not just embodiments. We are this completeness that relies on the other, but that also lives in separate realms, but sometimes crosses. So to me, it feels like, the paradigms are just starting to touch. We're just starting to realize this non-locality of consciousness, this non-locality of soul, that the soul is not in the body is in the soul, and that all those things around us are actually part of the spirit soul that, we are, and they are us. So it's for me, I'm seeing that there's a different organism at play, something bigger than what we think, and how this connection, it just creates a different, what if we didn't feel like we had two separate realms? What if we didn't feel like we were crossing two separate realms? What if we just felt like we were there every day? So that's kind of what's coming through for me from going to the spirit realm. It's with us or with them.
Yeah. And what if not only are we just there, they are also just here? So that communication is going on whether we become conscious of it or not, or want to become conscious of it. It's happening. And I started doing soul circles for people who had passed, and that was a way for people on earth to want to go through, want to be the fullness of who they are in order to continue connecting, or in order to know the communication that's going on, so they could choose wisely in case they needed to cut that communication off and send it somewhere else. So that became actually an even bigger service than helping people meditate. It just took meditation to an entirely new and greater purpose.
And I think too, for you, it really connected. Your circles are like a manifestation of creation that came through that meditative space for someone else. And it was, the New Age probably calls this a channeled experience, but it's just an open experience where you could actually bring that forward through. And that's like that whole realm coming here that has always been here. We've just given it shape, given it form, given it color. It's always been here. It's just like everything that we create has always been here. We just give it form. So we were here as spirits, but we were just given form. So I kind of liken it to that. So even your circles are the soul essence that has always been there, that always was there, maybe an echo of a soul that was here on earth. Always has been here, always will be here. We gave that form to connect with earthly realms. And so just like our bodies are that form that's given to our spirit to connect on the earth.
And interesting, now we're seeing the beginnings, just because we've opened that portal a little wider. Science is starting to come up with mechanisms to, instead of channeling messages from spirits, to scientifically bring those messages through and feel or have evidence of the existence of these spirits and this consciousness of entities we can't see.
Yeah, I think we've said this before. Wouldn't it be amazing if scientists would just consult us first?
Exactly. Right. Just ask us.
You don't have to spend all the money. Just consult us, and we'll let you know. Well, and it's interesting, but I am really fascinated because as crossing between spirit realms, I've wondered if that's going to change science. Actually, we've seen that change science and scientists. We are seeing scientists meditate. We are seeing scientists really get fascinated with the quantum world, with the whole quantum possibility world, that this isn't just a, law of physics, cause and effect kind of realm that we're in. There's something else. They're starting to ask those questions. They've always asked those questions. Those questions of religion, those questions of spirituality, scientists are coming to try and answer. And I think it's fascinating that, it's taken us over 1,000 years probably. Well, what is that? 1,400, 800 years to come back to the point where science and spirituality could actually merge. So,
yeah. And cause and effect are still very much part of universal laws, but causes, we're seeing greater evidence of what causes are of what we then experience as the effects, if that makes sense.
yes, it's that whole, causality is only what we can observe, and we have a limited observation sphere. What if I often think, coming from the spirit realm here, the key to actually unlocking this science is to have experiments in the spirit realm. If we had experiments in the spirit realm where science and consciousness and spirit were merged, we're not looking at this the same, or humans on earth are not looking at this the same way as the spirit realm would look at it. The spirit realm would say, let's put this in the equation. Let's make an assumption that cause, effect, intention, and this quantum spirit world, as well as attraction and grace and things like that, and love, are one side of the equation. And given that one side of the equation, let's work out the problem. So it's almost as if science is starting to ask those questions and put those things into the equations. What if love is an energy? What if love is an energy just like matter, or can be a particle in a wave, just like all of matter? What if this is really an entity? What if water is just a living thing, an organism? What if we treated the earth and spirit of the earth as a one organism and put that on one side of the equation instead of components?
And what if we spent several $1 trillion a year on researching love and being love rather than war?
Yes.
What if we tried dreaming rather than getting a message, a cause, no, an effect from a cause, an effect of heart disease from the cause of something that we weren't looking at before, instead of getting cancer from a cause that's inside of us rather than looking at a chemical reason outside of us.
Right. It's like we're looking at these components that exist outside of us. We can choose to meditate, dream, and we've talked about this before. We can choose to meditate or dream, listen to our dreams, fill up our consciousness with those tools, those ways of knowing, or we can get cancer. I mean, what if we actually looked at things as the whole of, like, we have chemicals, but let's look at the causes of those chemicals. Why do we have those? And if we had this, the energy of love, the energy of we are the equation that adds love and multiplies love so that the universe and the cosmos can actually go to that next level of the closest thing to love in the equation. How does that change our science as far as like cause and effect? How do we diagnose disease based on, of course we can diagnose disease based on addiction or food or our environment, but what if we dug deeper? What if we could diagnose and treat illness not based on those external factors, but those internal factors of consciousness, of how we connect and be in both worlds, how that affects us.
Right.
What if it was all of us collectively?
Yeah, and it requires courage, and this is not just theoretical. I mean, I've experimented with things going on physically with me. I've had several spots of skin cancer show up in different places, legs, arm, and after having one surgically removed, which was so traumatic, I was adamant about never going back to that solution again, the solution that the world tells me I have to have. And now, recently, well, I haven't had one for a while, but the last one took a day for it to start disappearing because I went inward to ask my body what it's trying to communicate to me, what I've been ignoring, the signs up until that point, and it has had to resort to a physical sign to wake me up. And yes, okay, now I'm paying attention. By all means, tell me, what do I need to address? And in that case, as far as skin cancer goes, it's about worth, about my feeling about my worth. And every time, the 5 or 6 times that I've addressed it, it's been different versions of my worth and how I express in the world my feelings about my worth. And so not only does skin cancer go away without any payment to any insurance company, without any medical invasive event, without pain, without fear, it leaves me. And the real important part is that I change. I change my way of feeling about me, and that changes the way I express myself in the world and how other people respond to me. There's a whole complex system of cause and effect that we hadn't been looking at before.
It's the cause and effect of the whole. And I also believe that the cause and effect, those things that we do here also affect the spirit realm. And so the reason we are so many people feel like they're getting so connected to spirit, so connected to, there's this energy of something that, like, people give conversations with me that say, there's something going to happen. I can feel it. I can sense it. I know it. And the reason, because the spirit realm and our physical realm, they are connected. There is this connection. And even in our consciousness, that a sickness in the body or a sickness in the soul, well, a sickness in the soul will reflect on the body, you know. Mm-hmm. And then a sickness in the body is going to have the spirit realm come back and tell us something is wrong. I mean, there is this connection. So if we actually look at the world today, we have so much turmoil going on everywhere, and yet so many people are like asking these questions now. So many folks are coming to us saying, there's something going on, there's something different, there's something bigger, and I can sense it, I can feel it, I can't tell you how, but it's, you know, and even, you know, things that manifest in our world, the leaders that we elect, the leaders that come forward, reflections of that sickness in our physical realm, and the spiritual realm is sick as well. So having that symbiosis helps us heal both. So
right.
I think I'm making sense with that.
Yeah.
It's as close as I can come to it.
Yeah. Right. So we started asking people, would you rather have a dream or would you rather have cancer? Would you rather sit still for 30 minutes every morning and be with yourself? Or would you rather have migraines?
Yeah.
And so when you put it like that, it's, I don't know, some people still choose the migraines, but that's their journey, I guess.
Would you rather have your dreams be your coaching mechanism, your coaches, your teachers, those guides that are with you all the time? Would you rather have those be your teachers and follow them and follow that to make your soul feel fulfilled? Or would you rather find yourself looking for something artificial outside of yourself, like an addiction or an obsession or patterns that we choose that don't serve us. So there is, when we're looking to like fix a situation, we oftentimes just look outside of ourselves. We think, I have to go to the doctor, which is, I'm not opposed to doctors. There are many out there that are very loving and helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to go to the doctor. We have to get a drug. We have to get prescribed something. We have to have this quick fix. I want to lose weight, so I'm going to take those pills they advertise on TV. When we really have those answers, we can sit with ourselves for 30 minutes a day, really get in touch, really focus on our breath, find that spot that's local and non-local in us, and get those answers. Those things come through to us. People tell us, oh my gosh, through meditation and through my circle, this is the thing that came through. And then if they act on that, the investment is really
Right.
inexpensive compared to a life of prescription drugs, a life of addiction to control an urge or to quiet your mind. So many people want to quiet their mind, and so they go into all these other things like, well, addiction is one, and those things don't serve them.
And you really don't have to do one or the other. You can continue the prescription drug that you've been on for years and try taking the action and just see what taking the action does for you. Sitting with your circle, having a very telling dream that you can feel is saying something to you, and just experimenting with the messages that you're getting in your day-to-day life. And then you'll maybe, in this instance, you'll forget to take the drug, and guess what? You're still okay. And you're more energized and impassioned by this new action you're taking. So it's not like we're telling people to just quit what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. It's all wrong. No, just try something a little bit new and take one step, one loving step for yourself, for the people around you, for your family, for your kids, for the environment. Just take one and just see if you want to then take the next one.
Yeah, it is a little telling to me that sometimes these conversations can border on the illegal, so that we have to take a step to sort of, that it can be deemed, against our civil law to like pay attention to your body, to pay attention to your messages. So yeah, we do offer kind of a little radical kind of way of doing things. And so, no, we're not advocating people quit all their prescriptions, though if this is something that you discover through your experimenting, then you need to know that you are the one in charge of your own body, your own soul, your own spirit journey. This is your self-responsibility. This is your sovereignty as a sovereign soul, a sovereign being. And so that's kind of where that goes, is once we get in touch, and once you kind of journey to the spirit world, you really recognize that, I'm a sovereign being. My soul is its own, yet I am connected to this collective, but yet I am a sovereign being. And the soul space has a different ethic and a different way of cause and effect, and a different multidimensional way of choice. And so if we connect to that, bring that back to us, then a whole new realm of possibilities opens up to us. So knowing that we're sovereign.
Right. Yes. And we are just presenting ourselves as evidence. I'm a physical human who has been on the planet for 54 years, and I take no prescription drugs. What is the percentage of 54-year-olds who don't take any drugs. I don't know. I
And
just think it's
yeah,
fairly small.
and I'm a 49-year-old male who has not taken prescription drugs ever either, who's never been hospitalized since I was hospitalized once at age 2 for asthma. I've never been hospitalized. I for the last since for 22 years I haven't taken a single antibiotic. My primary care physician has been my chiropractor or my acupuncturist. And what percentage of 49-year-old men who are often confused and thought that they're in their 30s are that way? What's the percentage?
Okay.
So we are, yeah, we can only talk about ourselves. We are the case studies for ourselves. What is possible for us, and maybe that's possible for other people. So, but I realize too, and I know that this is something, a spirit realm thing too, is that we are put on this planet to like show possibility and to teach others possibility. And I think that if you're given this gift and if you're given this information, it's great just to share this and to show possibility.
Well, guess what? There are no drugs in the spirit world.
There aren't. Why? You don't need them.
Oh, that scares people a little. I mean, you're gonna cross over and want the drug, and it's not gonna be there. You're gonna actually have to feel your feeling. So
I know.
why not feel your feeling today?
Yeah, I'm a little sad there's no coffee in the spirit world, but at the same time,
There's no dark chocolate. Oh my gosh.
there's no dark chocolate, there's no coffee, there's no beer, but there is bliss,
And
and
there's bliss here.
there is bliss here. Total bliss here, and it's just a choice away.
Mm-hmm.
One micro movement choice away.
Right.
And you get to be the multiplier for the cosmos to bring you to the next logical conclusion that's closest to love. One choice away.
Perfect.
Great. Thanks, Rita.
Okay. Thank you.